Have you ever looked at the man you love and wondered, what's really going on inside his head? What does he secretly fantasize about doing when his heart belongs entirely to you? Most women assume men only dream about one thing, but the truth is far more surprising. When a man is deeply in love, his fantasies go way beyond the physical. They become emotional, passionate, and intimate in ways most people never talk about. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain and reveal 5 powerful fantasies men have about the women they truly adore. Some of these desires are so raw, so unspoken, that most men would never admit them out loud. But understanding them can completely transform your relationship. If you want to know why he looks at you the way he does, why he sometimes pulls away without explanation, or why he dreams of moments he can't quite put into words, then stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll see exactly what your man craves most, and how to use this knowledge to deepen your connection, ignite passion, and make your bond unshakable. Let's dive in. When a man falls deeply in love, his mind starts creating a world where you're not just his partner, you're his safe place, his home, and his entire universe. And one of his biggest fantasies, the one most women never realize, is the dream of complete emotional surrender. Men are often taught to hide their feelings, to act strong, to never show weakness. But when he truly loves you, he secretly fantasizes about letting all of that armor fall away. He wants a space where he can be his raw, unfiltered self. No pretending, no masks, no ego. This isn't about physical passion or lust. It's about something much deeper. He dreams of looking at you and knowing that no matter what he reveals, his fears, his failures, his insecurities, you'll still see him, accept him, and choose him. Most men will never say this out loud because vulnerability is terrifying, but deep inside, he craves a moment where he can drop the weight he carries and trust that you won't judge him. He wants to feel like you're the one person in the world who truly understands his soul. And here's the beautiful part: when a man gets that level of safety from the woman he loves, his devotion multiplies. He becomes more affectionate, more protective, and more passionate than ever before. It unlocks a side of him that most people never get to see, the side that loves without limits. But here's where many couples miss the connection. Women often believe that men only fantasize about physical closeness. Yes, attraction matters. But for a man who's deeply in love, the ultimate fantasy is emotional intimacy, the kind that can't be faked, bought, or forced. He wants to feel chosen, not just for what he does, but for who he is when no one's watching. He wants to know that his flaws don't make him unlovable, that you won't run when you see the parts of him he hides from the world. When you give him that level of acceptance, something powerful happens. You become the center of his world, the person he thinks about when he wakes up, the person he protects without hesitation, the person he trusts with his deepest truths. That's when love stops being ordinary and turns into something extraordinary, the kind of connection most people spend their whole lives searching for. And that is the first fantasy every man secretly carries. It's not about control, not about ego. It's about wanting to feel seen, safe, and fully loved. When you give him that, you unlock a side of him that only you'll ever know. Here's a truth that surprises a lot of people when a man is truly deeply in love. Physical attraction alone isn't enough to fulfill his fantasies. Sure, it might be what first draws him to you, but what keeps him dreaming about you, what keeps him coming back to you, is the emotional connection he feels when he's with you. See, physical chemistry is like a spark. It's exciting, it's intense, but it can fade if there's nothing deeper beneath it. Emotional connection, on the other hand, is like oxygen. Without it, the fire eventually dies. And when a man loves you, his deepest fantasies aren't just about passion. They're about finding someone who understands him at a level nobody else does. He dreams of moments where you get him without him having to explain. Where you notice the little things, the way his tone shifts when he's stressed, the look in his eyes when he's hiding something, the silence he keeps when he's overthinking. When he feels that kind of emotional closeness, his desire for you skyrockets. For a man in love, passion and intimacy aren't separated. They feed each other. The stronger his emotional bond with you, the stronger his physical attraction becomes. He doesn't just want your body, he wants your soul, your laughter, your vulnerability, your trust. That's what makes you unforgettable. And here's something most people overlook. Men are often starved for emotional safety. The world expects them to be strong, unshaken, in control at all times. But in private, with the woman he loves, he fantasizes about letting go of all that pressure, to be vulnerable, to feel, to just exist without judgment. That emotional security is what turns simple moments into powerful fantasies. It's not always about candlelit dinners or grand gestures. Sometimes it's the quiet nights talking until 2 a.m. The inside jokes only the two of you understand, the comfort of falling asleep knowing you're truly seen. When he feels that kind of connection, something shifts inside him. Physical attraction becomes deeper, more magnetic. He starts craving you not just for how you look, but for how you make him feel, safe, desired, and understood. And that is where real passion is born. Because at the end of the day, beauty can turn heads, but emotional intimacy captures hearts. It's the difference between someone he finds attractive and someone he can't imagine living without. When a man finds both, a powerful physical connection and an unshakable emotional bond, that's when you stop being a part of his life and become his entire world. When most people hear the word intimacy, they immediately think of physical passion. And yes, that's part of it. But for a man who's truly in love, his fantasy goes much deeper than that. True intimacy isn't just about what happens behind closed doors. It's about what happens in the quiet moments, the unspoken connections, the little pieces of vulnerability you share that no one else gets to see. One of the greatest fantasies men have about the women they love is experiencing complete closeness, a bond where every part of him feels accepted and desired. He wants to be wanted, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. He wants to feel like he can show you every side of himself, the confident side, the messy side, the broken side, and still be loved the same. Think about those moments when time seems to stand still. The nights where you're talking about dreams, fears, and secrets until the sun starts rising. The simple touch of your hand that says more than words ever could. The eye contact that makes you both laugh without speaking. Those tiny, effortless moments, that's what men fantasize about more than anything. And here's the truth. Passion without intimacy fades quickly. A man might be drawn to someone physically, but if he can't feel safe enough to be his real, unfiltered self, he'll never fully give his heart away. But when he does find that kind of intimacy, when he feels you know him in ways no one else does, his entire energy changes. He becomes more protective, more open, more devoted, because he doesn't just want you in his life, he wants you in his soul. This level of closeness is rare, and that's why it becomes such a powerful fantasy. It's not about grand gestures or cinematic romance. It's about creating a space where his heart feels completely at home. He dreams of those nights where he can drop the weight of the world, look at you, and know that he's enough, exactly as he is. When a man experiences this, physical attraction doesn't just exist, it deepens. Passion isn't forced, it flows naturally because it's fueled by connection. That's the intimacy he craves. It's not about perfection, it's about being seen, being accepted, and being loved without conditions. And when a man finds that, he doesn't just love you, he chooses you, over and over again, in every way possible. Sometimes the most powerful expressions of love are the ones you never hear. Men aren't always the best at putting their feelings into words. They may not say I love you 100 times a day, but if you pay close attention, you'll notice they're showing it in ways that speak louder than any words ever could. When a man truly loves you, he studies you, not in an obvious way, but quietly, carefully. He notices the little things, the way your face changes when you're tired, the tone of your voice when something's bothering you, the things that make you laugh until you can't breathe. And without saying a word, he starts adjusting his actions to make your life a little better, a little lighter, a little happier. He may not always talk about his feelings, but you'll see it in his presence. He shows up when it matters. He remembers the details you thought he forgot. Your favorite snack, the song that makes you smile, the story you told him once at 2 a.m. He does these things not because he has to, but because loving you makes him want to. Sometimes his silence is the loudest form of love. The way he pulls you closer without asking. The way his hand finds yours when you're nervous. The way he stands a little taller when he feels protective of you. These are all his unspoken declarations of how much you mean to him. And here's the thing most women don't realize. Men often communicate love through actions, not speeches. Fixing something that's been bothering you, making sure you're safe when you're apart, choosing to listen when you need to talk instead of offering quick solutions. These are his quiet ways of saying, you matter to me. You're my priority. His fantasy isn't just about grand passion. It's about creating a bond where he doesn't always have to explain himself for you to understand him. He wants a love where even in silence you hear his heart. Because when a man loves deeply, his entire energy shifts. You feel it in the way he looks at you, the patience in his voice, the small sacrifices he makes without drawing attention to them. He may not always say it, but he's constantly showing you, you are my world. Words are easy, but when a man chooses to love you in the quiet, consistent ways no one else notices, that's when you know it's real. Every man, no matter how confident he seems on the outside, carries a quiet longing deep within, the desire to feel admired and wanted by the woman he loves. And this isn't about ego or vanity. It's about something much more vulnerable, something many men will never openly admit. When a man truly gives his heart to someone, his fantasy isn't just about being accepted. It's about being seen as her hero, her safe place, her source of comfort and strength. He dreams of knowing that the woman he loves looks at him and thinks, I'm proud to be with him, I choose him. You see, men often face silent battles the world rarely sees, pressures, doubts, insecurities they're taught to hide. And while they may put on a brave face for everyone else, deep down, they long for one thing above all, to be desired not just for what they provide, but for who they are. It's in the small moments where this fantasy lives. When you touch his arm and tell him you appreciate what he does. When you look at him with admiration, not because of his achievements, but because of his heart, his effort, and his intentions. Those little affirmations fuel him more than he'll ever admit. Here's something powerful most women don't realize. The more you show genuine admiration and desire, the more connected he feels to you. He becomes more affectionate, more protective, more passionate, because you've touched the deepest part of his being, the part that craves to be seen, respected, and loved completely. And this desire isn't just emotional, it's physical too. Men fantasize about knowing they are desired, that you still find them attractive, that you still want them as much as they want you. When he feels that spark from you, his confidence soars and his passion intensifies. Without admiration, even the strongest men can feel unseen and disconnected. But when you remind him that he matters, that he excites you, that you're proud to stand by his side, you're not just loving him, you're empowering him. That's when he gives his heart without hesitation. Because deep down he knows you don't just love him, you want him. For a man in love, there's nothing more powerful than feeling admired and desired by the woman who holds his heart. When you make him feel that, you become more than his partner, you become his greatest inspiration. When a man is truly in love, one of his greatest fantasies is building a relationship where trust and passion go hand in hand, a bond so strong that no storm can shake it and no temptation can break it. Men might not always talk about it, but deep down they dream of having someone who makes them feel completely safe, someone they can open up to without fear of being judged, misunderstood, or betrayed. Trust for a man isn't just about loyalty, it's about knowing that his heart is protected in your hands. And when that trust exists, something incredible happens. Passion naturally multiplies. Because when a man feels secure with you, when he knows he can share his deepest fears, his wildest dreams, and his most vulnerable truths without hesitation, he connects with you on a level far beyond the physical. For him, passion isn't just about chemistry, it's about freedom. The freedom to be himself without holding back. The freedom to explore his desires without shame. The freedom to love you without fear. That's why his fantasy isn't just intimacy. It's a safe intimacy where your emotional connection fuels an unshakable attraction. But here's the secret most couples overlook. Trust doesn't eliminate passion, it amplifies it. When a man feels certain that you're with him for who he truly is, when he senses your loyalty and commitment, his desire for you becomes unstoppable. He doesn't just want you, he cherishes you. He starts planning a future, investing his time, his energy, his heart, because deep inside he knows he's found someone worth fighting for. And passion in this kind of love isn't forced. It flows naturally in the small moments. The way he looks at you when you're not watching. the way he reaches for your hand without thinking, the way his heartbeat quickens when you're close. It's those subtle, quiet flames that never burn out. Every man fantasizes about that one relationship where trust builds the foundation and passion keeps the fire alive. A love where he feels safe enough to give everything and inspired enough to keep chasing you, even after years together. When a man finds that balance of trust and passion, he doesn't just love you, he chooses you over and over again. And in his heart, there's no fantasy greater than knowing he's found a love that lasts. We've talked about the fantasies men have: emotional closeness, intimacy, admiration, and trust. But there's one final fantasy, the deepest, most unspoken desire that almost every man carries in his heart when he's truly in love. It's not about passion. It's not about control. It's not even about attraction. It's about something far more powerful, the fantasy of becoming her forever. You see, when a man loves a woman with everything he has, he dreams of a love that doesn't end. He fantasizes about building a life together, not just sharing moments, but creating memories, overcoming struggles, and growing side by side. He doesn't just want a relationship, he wants a legacy of love. In his mind, he imagines a future where you're still laughing at the same jokes decades from now. He dreams of the quiet mornings, waking up next to you, knowing you're his safe place. He pictures the long walks, the late night talks, the little arguments followed by forgiveness, because deep down, he doesn't want temporary passion, he wants eternal belonging. And here's the part most women never realize. Men rarely say this out loud. They fear sounding too vulnerable, too emotional, or too committed too soon. But in his heart, he's craving the kind of connection where he never has to wonder if you'll stay. His deepest fantasy is security, the kind that comes from knowing, without a shadow of a doubt, that he has someone who chooses him every single day. He dreams of being your safe place, your partner, your teammate in every battle life throws at you. He wants to be the one you confide in when no one else understands, the one you reach for when the world feels heavy, the one who sees your flaws and loves you even harder because of them. And there's something beautiful that happens when a man feels this level of security. His passion, his devotion, his loyalty, everything intensifies. He stops holding back, he gives more, invests more, protects more, and loves more deeply than he ever thought possible. Because when his heart feels safe, his love becomes fearless. But here's the truth most relationships miss. This fantasy isn't built on grand gestures. It's not about expensive gifts, exotic vacations, or over-the-top declarations. It's built in the little things, the everyday moments that seem small but hold everything. It's in the way you look at him when he's speaking, making him feel like he's the only person in the room. It's in the way you choose him even on the hard days, when love isn't easy, but you decide it's still worth fighting for. It's in the quiet reassurance that no matter what happens, he's enough for you, today, tomorrow, and always. Because at the core of every man's ultimate fantasy isn't just to be wanted, it's to be kept. To know that he's found a love so deep, so unwavering, that nothing and no one could take it away. That's the dream that keeps him up at night. The vision that makes him hold you closer. The thought that makes him fight for the relationship, even when things get hard. And that's the greatest fantasy of all. To be loved without conditions, chosen without hesitation, and trusted without fear. When a man finds that kind of love, there's nothing left to search for. You become his forever, not just in this moment, but in every moment yet to come. And if you've ever wondered what men truly want when they're in love, it's not perfection, it's not games, and it's not mystery. It's you, your heart, your loyalty, your presence, and your forever. So now you know the truth. The 5 deepest fantasies men secretly carry about the women they love. And maybe, just maybe, you've realized something important along the way. That love isn't just about the obvious things we often focus on. It's about the quiet desires, the unspoken needs, and the little moments that make a man feel seen, understood, and cherished. We started this journey by uncovering the first fantasy, the longing for complete emotional surrender, where a man dreams of showing you every side of himself without fear of judgment. Then we explored the balance between emotional connection and physical attraction, because real passion thrives where the heart feels safe. We talked about his craving for true intimacy, not just passion, but the closeness that happens when two souls truly understand one another. We revealed his desire to feel admired and desired, not for what he does, but for who he is at his core. And finally, we uncovered his ultimate fantasy, a forever love built on unshakable trust, passion, and commitment. When you think about it, all of these fantasies point to one simple truth. Men don't just want love, they want depth. They want to be chosen, respected, and desired. They want a connection that goes beyond words, where actions speak louder, where silence still feels safe, and where love grows stronger with time. And if there's one thing I hope you take away from this video, it's this: great relationships aren't built on guessing games or perfection. They're built on understanding each other at the deepest level. When you recognize what your partner truly needs, and when you give that same vulnerability in return, love stops being complicated. It becomes effortless. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 fantasies surprised you the most? Do you recognize any of these desires in the men you've loved? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video gave you a new perspective, give it a like, because it really helps this message reach more people who need it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got so many more conversations like this coming. Deep dives into love, attraction, and the hidden truths about relationships that no one talks about. You deserve a love that feels effortless, passionate, and real, and I want to help you get there. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, remember, love isn't about perfection, it's about connection. Take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next video.